Hi, thanks for joining. So today what I want to do is I want to talk all about calendars, and I want to talk specifically how to synchronize calendars into Outlook, and I want to talk about using calendars, the overlay functionality within SharePoint 2010, so you can kind of have a full view of all your calendars that you might have in SharePoint and calendars that you might have in Exchange, and bring them all into one single view so you can manage your calendars and see what's happening from an overlay perspective within SharePoint. So just real quick, let's just start off because we got a lot to cover. So I already have a team calendar here, and I also created a calendar under my sites. So I'll just jump to that real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these calendars, and I'm eventually going to overlay my team calendar on top of my personal My Sites calendar, and I'll do that in a couple of minutes. But first, what I want to do is I want to take my team calendar and I want to synchronize it with my Outlook. So I'm just going to do that right now. So I'm going to go to my team calendar. I'm going to go to Calendar Tools and then Calendar, and I'm going to go to Connect to Outlook. So it's going to give me this prompt here just telling me, just a security issue here, and just click on Allow. Click on Allow again. And then I'm just going to click Yes. And now my calendar, my team calendar, should now be available here in SharePoint. And the cool thing about 2010 is also it's now read and writable. So before in 2007 you can only read information from your SharePoint calendar within Outlook, but now you can actually write information back. So here, as you can see, my team calendar has performance review, which is something I already had there already. But just to show you that you can actually update and write back, I'm going to create a new entry. So obviously I set the time a little bit, a couple hours overdue, so we'll just click on cancel there. But as you can see, I just made a change to my team calendar within Outlook. So if I jump back to my team calendar within SharePoint and I refresh the page, I'll now see my update here within SharePoint. And again, I didn't make the change in SharePoint, I made the change in Outlook. And here's all the information that I specified within Outlook. And again, vice versa, so if I wanted to update this calendar within SharePoint, and I simply click on save. Now I have my second meeting here that I've created in SharePoint, and if I run back to Outlook, if I just sort of refresh here, now I'll see my meeting here, or my meeting 2, within the Outlook view of my team calendar. So another cool thing as well is you can actually drag and drop other meetings within your primary SharePoint calendar. That's something that you might want to do, because if you want to make sure that your team calendar or your primary calendar has all the pertinent information that you have in your team calendar, it might be a good idea for you to want to drag and drop stuff over, because what happens is in Outlook Web Access, it only checks your primary calendar, so you wouldn't actually see your team calendar or my calendar within Outlook Web Access version of Outlook. So again, it's up to you. You don't need to do it, but it is an option. So you could just drag it over, and now you have that over there, you have your meeting 1. I've just dragged it over to my primary calendar. So that's a pretty cool feature. I actually think it's an option when you create a new meeting in Outlook. It'll always say copy to my calendar. So you could always do that as an option as well, and then it'll just copy automatically to your other calendar. What I like to do is when I have this, I like to do my overlay, and I like to just kind of overlay everything, all my calendars in one, so I can just make sure that everything is aligned. Or if I have a meeting in the team and it's not in my calendar, I'll be able to see that immediately. So if I move that over there, then I'll be able to see these changes immediately from the overlay. Alright? So I kind of like that feature. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here, and we're going to update our My Site now. Okay, so we're going to go to My Sites, and I want to have my Site calendar in my Outlook as well. So let's go over to my Site, and we're pretty much going to do the same thing over again. So again, here's my Site calendar, and I want to have that sync up to my Outlook as well. I'm going to get the standard prompts as usual, and then in a couple of seconds I'm going to have my Site calendar. So again, if I have meetings and I just want to, I've been looking into my Site calendar a lot more often than my other calendars, I can always just make sure that all my meetings are copied over to all my calendars, so if I'm looking at any one location, I'm not missing anything. And again, if I want to make a, just update a new appointment within my calendar, then I can just update it within SharePoint. Again, it's just deleted, or it's just old calendar. Okay, so again, here's my meeting 3. That's only in my calendar, and if I go back to my calendar here, I do an update. Here's my meeting, as well as my other meetings too. So one other thing that we can also do is we can also overlay within SharePoint as well. So if you go to the Tools Calendar, there's an overlay option. And what you do is you have to actually add the calendars that you want to have as available for overlay. So I've already added my Team Outlook calendar, and pretty much all you got to fill out is put in the name, specify it's going to be Exchange calendar or SharePoint calendar, and then you just need to put in the web URL. It'll automatically pull, or it'll automatically look for all the calendars within your web site or within your SharePoint site, and it'll give you a list of all the calendars that you have, and you just pick and choose one. So I'm just going to check this off. So visible in view, you click on OK, and now I can see both my team calendar and I can see my calendar. And as you notice, in my team calendar, I don't have a meeting 3, so that's why you don't see any yellow under here. So pretty much that's one of the new features, cool features within 2010. I really like it because it just allows for you to be a bit more autonomous and be able to move around and not have to worry about missing meetings and whatnot. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys find it useful. Thanks.